Donald Trump is on another rampage over his own failures to, do his job well, and now several key members of his cabinet are cowering in fear. You know how I always warn about schadenfreude on this channel? Here comes a flood of it, just in case you find it triggering. For the rest of you, here's a great way to start the weekend. Welcome to Occupied Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Thanks for joining me today, and before we get started, I have to say we're doing a new subscriber drive here on the channel at the moment, so please subscribe now if you haven't. We're targeting 2 million subscribers in the next few weeks, so you can help out by subscribing now and sharing this video. On to our story. It should not come as any big surprise that part of what drives the chaos of the Trump administration is a conscious move by Donald Lame Duck himself. Having come from reality TV, Trump wants his cabinet to look good on camera, and he wants to run his administration like a bad episode of The Apprentice, which might be redundant. It was certainly true in Trump's first term, when it seemed like every week a member of the cabinet was shown the door.
The newest turbulence in Washington at this hour. President Trump has fired another member of his cabinet. VA Secretary David Shulkin is now out. This comes after the firing of Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Then the president's national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, was out. And then today, Shulkin. All of this in just 2 weeks. Replacing Shulkin, the president is now nominating Admiral Ronnie Jackson, the White House doctor, who after the president's recent physical said the president has, quote, great genes.
Yeah. And before you think to yourself, oh, it's so much more stable in his second term, well, just stay tuned. It looks like two of the most loathed members of the administration are lined up for the chopping block. But before we get to them, we have to note that they're not alone in their march toward the electric chair. I'm sure Trump would love to hear their zapping on television, but I digress. Earlier today, CNN reported that Trump has been close to firing several members of his cabinet already, including Secretary of Defense and boozer-loser Pete Hegseth and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. The channel further reports that Director of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Secretary of Energy Chris Wright, and Chief Advisor Corey Lewandowski also face firing. Sources told CNN that Trump personally loves Noem, so Lewandowski is more likely to get the boot. For the record, Lewandowski and Noem are long rumored to be having an affair, though both are married to other people. Multiple sources have reported as much since the campaign last year. Lewandowski has angered a number of other administration officials with his constant meddling and management of the Department of Homeland Security, which isn't even his agency to run. And that isn't even the juicy part. For the record, the White House now denies that Trump is considering replacing any of the people we just mentioned. On the other hand, a new report also surfaced this morning that two of Trump's most prominent cabinet members, FBI Director Kash Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi, are likely to get the boot in spectacular fashion in the next year. Take a look.
We will follow the law. We will follow the law. We will follow the law. For more, let's bring in Daily Signal investigative columnist Tony Kinnett. Tony, is it just me? Or is it just a matter of time before Pam Bondi is shown the door? I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I want this administration to succeed. But this is, you just can't talk about talking points. At least kind of make it a little bit more original. I'm sorry. I'm just calling it out.
She backed herself into this corner in February. Good morning to you both, by the way. I agree you need your own health show while we're on that particular matter. Sorry, producers. But no, regarding the situation with Pam Bondi, she put herself here. She did. When she got out in February,
too bad.
And she handed to my friends, including Jack Posobiec, a binder that contained nothing, and then trotted him out and humiliated him for no reason. And when you campaign on, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to release everything, you have now set yourself a standard you can't walk away from. It didn't matter what there was in the files because you've already promised what's in the files. You've already promised all of these names are in the files, so you better deliver. And then she and Kash Patel got in there and found out, well, gee, it looks like there's not as much as I told everyone there was going to be because freedomeagle.facebook said there had to be something in there. And if there wasn't enough, well, now you're here. Welcome to purgatory. And so, yeah, I do think the Trump administration, maybe after the 2026 midterms, might dismiss Bondi or Patel because when you overpromise and you underdeliver, people are rightly outraged. You told me you had insider information. Oh, you're just like everyone else. You lie about what insider information you have just to bluff your way past the blackjack table. Okay, well, then I hope you're ready for those consequences.
So there you have it. It seems like someone in the administration has finally figured out that Bondi, who was not Trump's first choice for Attorney General, and the douche canoe Patel, who's best known as a conspiracy theory podcasting bottom feeder, are terrified of losing their jobs. And it remains to be seen how the release of the Epstein files, or Bondi's attempts to block them, will play into this mess. So, in other words, stay tuned. It disgusts me that Trump wants to run the government like an episode of The Apprentice, though, that said, at least he's provided us with some loathsome enough characters that I can only enjoy watching them sweat and get fired. You know, I'm not ashamed. This is Occupy Democrats.